Aloha guys, this will be the first video tutorial in a series where we're going to be looking at cartographic design and cartographic decisions in preparation for Lab 2. The map on the title slide here was created by a previous unnamed student, and I think it will give us a good opportunity to do something called a map critique, where we try to pick apart a map and find its weaknesses and discuss what could happen to make this map better. And as you look at this map here, I imagine, I would hope that there's all sorts of things which might be running through your minds about, what could be done to improve this map. And there's a lot of things that could be done to improve this map. So we're gonna touch upon a few of these. And this is the same map, just a little bit smaller. Hopefully you can still see this guy. And the first thing I'd like to talk about, and I'll also say that these few things that we're going to discuss here are by no means exhaustive. There are plenty of additional things, but these are some of the most egregious things that'd be worthwhile to talk about. First one is the title. So if possible, the map title should include, what the topic of the map is, the geographic area it covers, and when possible, the temporal information of the map. And the title size font should be big enough to be clearly read. And if you have a subtitle, it's often nice to put that in a little bit of smaller font. So, for example, the map that we see here says cities with population ranges between 0 and 9,999. Looking at the map, we might imagine that this is only talking about Florida cities, but we're shown a lot of southeastern United States, and I'm not sure why we're shown that, and why we're not shown what happened to North Carolina, right? What was the decision to be made for these ones? And so we could infer that we're talking about Florida, but it'd be better to actually put Florida in the title. The fact that you're talking about population with ranges between 0 and 9, that's good information, but another thing which is missing is, what time frame are we talking about here? Was this data collected in 1990? Was it collected in 2014? Was it collected in 1875? We don't know, right? And there's no date on the map to give us any kind of information. So that type of information is very useful for the reader on first glance of the title. So the title really, sets the stage. This is a relatively minor point, but having a north arrow, if you're presenting a map for an audience which may not be familiar with the area, if you're doing this presentation or giving this map to folks in Central Africa, they might not know what you're looking at right there is Florida and so on. And so it might be helpful to include a north arrow. But if you're going to make this map for the state of Florida, because a politician there is interested in finding out where these cities are, so on. You probably don't need to include a north arrow there, because they know that if they see that shape of Florida, that it's gonna, north is up in this case. If you include a north arrow, don't include it in such a prominent place up in the corner above the title. It should be in a little bit more of a subtle location. The legend. It's very good that this map has a legend. And we can see it shows cities, it shows Highway 1, although it's kind of hard to see Highway 1. And then it's got this blue box for counties. Now, if you look at the map, you can see that there's only counties which are shown for Florida. And the same color blue is used for these additional states, which, unless each of these states is just one county, there's something wrong there. So the legend has to actually accurately, represent what you're seeing in that map. There's a few more information text down here about the legend. You don't need to put the word legend in the legend. It's just sort of taking up space. And you, just want to make sure that the symbols are clear. We'll talk a lot more about symbology later. The symbols are clear and very visible. The border, so this is the line that we see around the map. And some maps call for a border, other maps don't. So if you really want to tie things together, you can include a border. If you want to have things a little bit more open, you can not have one. This is more of sort of a design decision that the map maker, cartographer can take. The scale bar, it's excellent to have a scale bar. You want to make sure that your text and font size in the scale bar is big enough to understand. You also typically want to make sure that the divisions in the scale bar make sense, so sort of round numbers, or 25, 50, 100 miles as opposed to 36.7 miles You know, because when you create a scale bar in ArcMap and you resize it, you can get some pretty funny little divisions there. All of these, and there are additional things that we could say about this map, but all of these critiques are coming from a book by Krieger and Wood from 2011 that I would highly recommend if any of you are interested in this. The remainder of this video tutorial will be talking about cartographic design principles. And this is a list from the UK Ordnance Survey, the National Mapping Authority, and we're actually not going to talk about all of these. We're going to focus on these ones, and that's what we'll be doing in the next slide tutorial video.